Back here once again on this time Lijiang Tower after this very strong display of skill coming out from default. How do you think Harbingers will fare this time on Lijiang Tower?
Well, Harbingers did have a lot of trouble. We've seen a lot from them in the past, and King of their Hill is their strongest game mode, but let's talk a bit about default for a sec, because after looking at the Twitch chat, thank you Twitch chat, apparently a lot of the players on default are high elo, ranging towards, Master and GM. So this could probably have a very large impact on the match, while, Harbingers are ranging to the Diamond, to the Plat Diamond, and near Master range. So the mechanical difference is probably going to be a real factor in these matches. So despite default being very new and young into the scene, they're showing their mechanical difference in these games, and since Harbingers do have the experience, they need to solid up their shot calling, because they've had a lot more experience in these scrims, but so far we've seen that it hasn't been enough to beat the mechanical power of this default team.
Yeah, we see anyway, both teams going the same way across the bridge, as we see the Winston jumping on their backline, managing to do quite a lot of damage, but the team is staying quite well together, as Katie gets a kill on Watchfresh, and Katie gets another kill on Mr. Marvel. Good job, Katie, actually doing so much damage, trying to take out this Reinhardt here, cleaning up, doing so much damage, as their skirmish seems to go on quite scattered for Harbingers, but good plays by default either way.
Yep, default have managed to assert their dominance onto this point, getting the first capture. Harbingers also don't have their main DPS, Zom or Daniel, so their hero pool and their overall strength seems to be hindered here in the default obviously have a lot of mechanical advantage. Everyone is on point, they're looking to skirmish.
Yeah, we see them all building up here in the little temple as Jaws pushes in. Not really pinning anybody there, such a shame, but not really getting punished too much for his pushes, as Katie actually takes him down, losing mech herself, not looking good as just default start to clean up this battle.
Yeah, Harbingers aren't looking very comfortable, and I think they just really need to change something here. They do have the Soldier Tracer team composition, which isn't necessarily bad, but they're not really utilizing them at the moment. I mean, on paper, it shouldn't be that bad for the matchups at least, but this default squad is just out mechanically beating them in all these skirmishes, and
we see another initiation coming in here once again with that Winston. That Winston's doing such a good job at initiating, as Skylines tries to come in the back line, but not really able to get many picks just by himself. Will sadly get picked off most likely, as we head back over to Harbingers, building back up on point. 2 members down, they're going to be a little bit delayed into the next push.
Look at the resources, Shiz. 6 ultimates up for default, so they've got the whole lineup here with that big tick. While Harbingers, they have 5 are idle with that tactical visor, which is probably a very important one here. They want to see for that Earth Shatter first.
Oh, amazing Earth Shatter coming out from Jaws. Was he able to get anyone? I could not see that, as a Diva comes in behind Coupon and Mr. Marvel and Skylines, just taking out a bunch of people. KT and Purge getting some more kills. Jaws getting a nice kill on the Lucio there, being able to take out one of them supports, as Harbingers managed to take this point back from default. Oh, but
they are scouring back onto the point though, Shiz.
Yeah, we see quite a lot of little more just downright skirmishing coming in from this team. Oh my god, just so beautiful coming in from these DPS and tanks and these supports, all doing amazing jobs at keeping all these players alive as they manage to take a point back from a losing situation.
I think something to note from that last fight as well, Shiz, we saw that, I think default were caught a little bit off guard there. Jaws did end up getting the first initiation with that Earth Shatter, but don't forget, even if all the members of this default squad die, their team comp, look how agile they are. They have the Winston, they have the Diva, they have a Genji. Heroes that have a lot of movement speed or mobility abilities, and they managed to get to the point very quickly, and they finished off the leftovers of the Harbinger team, and they also had all the resources because they were dead from last fight, so they had their ultimates up because they had 6 prior to that fight, and they just used it afterwards and wiped Harbingers.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to see a little bit of a roster change coming in from Harbingers here. Now running the Pharaoh, hopefully being able to do stuff. It's going to really counter this this team comp run by Default as they take around the backside, being able to take instant control of the point. Not always the best idea, as both teams just try to pick at each other as the Winston jumps in, starts doing damage to their entire backline, scattering their entire team. Lots of fights all going at once. Just members of Harbingers getting picked off slowly at the seams by this team that we call Default.
Yeah, and I like the adaptation from Harbingers though, getting that Pharaoh, because the team composition that Default doesn't really have a direct answer to Skylines at the moment. But saying that, they do manage to win the fight on point, and Purge, he's on fire at the moment. He was basically on a lot of energy that fight and managed to do a lot of damage himself, and he's been glowing like a Duracell battery this whole match.
Yeah, as we see possible reinitiation here. Vil jumping on the backline once again, but the Anane goes off, not really letting him get anything, getting like anti-healed, but managing to survive as Genji jumps in and out. Out comes the ult from the Genji, just doing a lot of damage, completely wiping the enemy team along with the help of his team. Good plays here by Default.
They're very aggressive as well. They're not really giving Harbingers any breathing room here. Once they have those resources, they just dive in there, trying to neglect Harbingers every time they try and scrap things off. And they do have an ultimate advantage as well. What Fresh does, he can place that shield generator or teleport or whatever he chooses, but Purge does have that Graviton Surge, and the D.Va self-destruct sequence is up soon.
Yeah, we see George charging in here, and an amazing, beautiful, just ult coming out by Purge here, just catching the entire enemy team behind him, behind Jaws, just leaving his team behind as the Pharaoh ult comes out, just trying to get some picks, not really able to get too many. Was just able to get KT, as this point looks like it'll be going in the way of Harbingers.
Yep, Harbingers won that fight because what ended up happening, that Graviton Surge was zoning a lot of the members of Harbingers, but no damage was being poured onto it afterwards, and Jaws managed to find a very good Earth Shatter there in the back line, and Skylines managed to follow that up with a rocket barrage, a lot of AoE damage of his own, and they managed to take that fight. Now they have the point.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to be seeing another re-engage here coming soon. A couple of ults in the favor of, well, both teams, really. We're going to be seeing a D.Va ult. D.Va ult coming in, not really getting anyone, but managing to zone their team backwards as Default, like, sort of spewing on point. Ana ult coming out on Coupon, trying to really get some damage out here as just taking out the Winston and getting picked off one by one. These fights are so hectic coming out from this team. Default just separating all of the enemy team and just cleaning it up one by one, as we see this D.Va will sadly make their last stand.
Yep, Default are looking quite comfortable here, and look at the percentage. This is going to be a very tricky point for Harbinger to take back, because they don't really have that much resources to work with. They are nearing up to those 100%, but can they get the ultimates up before they reach the point?
Definitely. We're going to see another initiation coming in by Jaws here. Not really getting anyone. Get put into sleep himself. He's clearly going to get punished for this one. Very sad coming in. Here comes the tactical visor by Greenish. Getting hooked, getting taken down. Not very good. Looking very sad. But once again, not able to get on the point for Harbingers. This one will go to Default once again. Good job, Default.
Yeah, good job there, and the sleep by Dalsu at the end neglected Jaws from trying to get that last man point on the stand, and last stand on the point, sorry. Got mixed up my words, but Mr. Marvel has got the play of the game somehow. I don't know how this happened. A bit of damage block there, but Default have done a work on this Harbinger squad, and as I mentioned previously, Harbingers don't have their full roster, but you can't really take away anything from this Default team. They've done a very good job at really suppressing any form of carry potential in this Harbinger team. I mean, the only one that seemed to have remotely done anything in those big fights, Jaws managed to get a few good Earth Shatters, but a lot of the team in the back was suppressed by the sheer amount of pressure that the Default team provided.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to be taking another break here until the next map. We'll see you all shortly.